Find the derivative of the function and simplify your answer. This function is g of s equals 1 minus s squared over 1 plus s squared. For this function, we will be using the quotient rule because there is a numerator and a denominator that both have a variable in it. The quotient rule looks something like this. If you have the quotient of two functions of x, that leads us to the derivative of v times the derivative of u minus u times the derivative of v all over v squared. And once we figure all of that out, we just have to go back and make sure we simplify our answer. So, in this case of our specific function, 1 minus s squared is u, 1 plus s squared is v, and so I'm just going to fill in some blanks over here. First up, we will write v for our derivative. G prime of s is v, which is 1 plus s squared. And to that, we're going to multiply the derivative of u, the derivative with respect to s, because that is the variable we are using in our original function. So that is 1 minus s squared. From that we will subtract u, which is 1 minus s squared, and we will multiply that by the derivative of v, which is 1 plus s squared. And we will divide all of that by v squared, which is 1 plus s squared squared. In this next step, we will go through and take the derivatives of these little portions here. And then we will simplify it. So g prime of s is 1 plus s squared. The derivative of at 1 minus s squared is negative 2s. And from that we will subtract 1 minus s squared. And the derivative of this portion is positive 2s. And all of that will be over 1 plus s squared, the entire quantity squared. This is the final step on the last slide. I'm going to use this slide to just make sure we can simplify everything down. It looks as though we can common factor out a 2s from both terms in the numerator, so I'm going to common factor out that 2s. And that leaves us with a negative 1 plus s squared minus 1 minus s squared. That is still over 1 plus s squared squared. The last thing we need to do, last couple things we need to do, is simplify what's inside this set of parentheses here, and then see if we can cancel anything in the top and the bottom. When you simplify everything inside this set of parentheses, you are left with a negative 2. So we still have this 2s in the front, but everything inside that set of parentheses becomes negative 2. The denominator stays the same. We can multiply the numerator together, these two terms in the numerator together, and we will get a final answer of negative 4s over 1 plus s squared, the quantity squared.